Hello everyone and welcome to episode 10 of MyGM on the Xbox One here on Klein92 TV. Going into this episode, you saw that I was showing you guys the award races. Now, you may have noticed that in the MVP category, we did not have LeBron James running for the MVP award, and honestly, I think that's just ridiculous. When you look at the guys that are running for that award, one of them was Kemba Walker, and if you're trying to make the argument that Kemba Walker is a better player than LeBron, that just does not make sense. But besides that, you may have seen early in this video that we actually had Victor Oladipo competing in the slam dunk contest. I'm not sure if he won, but I will try to find that out by the next episode of this series. You also may have seen that Karl Anthony Towns is leading the race for the Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, our other three rookies, Justice Winslow, Kristaps Porzingis, and Emmanuel Mudiay, aren't even contenders for that award, but hopefully Karl Anthony Towns will be able to end the season with the Rookie MVP. Now, in this episode, we're facing the San Antonio Spurs. You may have seen in the Western Conference standings that I showed earlier in this video, the Spurs, I think, are the sixth best team in the Western Conference. We are currently the seventh. We are half a game behind the Spurs, and if we win this game, there's a chance we can move all the way up to the fourth spot in the West. And that gives you an idea of just how tight the Western Conference is. Every game at this point in the season matters, and I really want to go into the playoffs with a high-ranking spot. I do not want to have to play up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you saw the episode of this series where we played the Thunder at home, you probably know why I don't want to see them again. Anyways, let's head into the gameplay of this video. The Jazz have an early 6-point lead on the Spurs. Under 5 minutes left, we're going to give it to Derek Favors in the post. He has Tim Duncan playing defense, fadeaway to the left side, and he misses that. That's Derek Favors' signature shot, but look at him playing defense, not giving up on the play, getting the ball to Karl Anthony Towns for a nice dunk right there. So we're holding on to that 7-point lead. The Spurs are going to give it to Patty Mills, over to Marco Bellinelli on the right side, and he's playing carelessly with the ball. Giannis is going to chuck the ball down court to Emmanuel Mudiay, and he's going to get that mid-range jumper. I probably could have backed up to the 3-point line, but anyways, now we are up by 7 with under 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Justice Winslow misses that shot. The Spurs have the ball, pass it over to Patty Mills at the 3-point line, and he makes that buzzer beater to go into the second quarter. That was just lazy defense there by the Utah Jazz. We're going to need to rebound after a play like that. So Manu Ginobili steps back on LeBron James and knocks down another 3. We're playing terrible defense now, but you know the King is going to want revenge after a play like that. He's going to step back over Ginobili and makes a 3-pointer right back at him. So you can probably tell that the momentum of this game is slowly shifting over to the Spurs, and when that happens, we gotta give the ball to LeBron, going in the paint, and a slam dunk at the hoop over Tiago Splitter. A crazy play by LeBron. That is why we need to give him the ball. So we're going to give it right back to him. They're going to try to bring over a double team, but I'm going to call an isolation. Wait for another double team over to Victor Oladipo at the 3-point line, and you cannot leave anyone on this team open. So now we're up by 8 points. LeBron is going to miss this layup, gets his rebound, and misses the putback. Now we are not prepared on defense. Tony Parker is running the fast break. He crosses over Victor Oladipo and gets it to Marco Bellinelli in the paint. A great play there by Tony Parker. You need to give credit where credit is due. So LeBron has it. He's going to pass it out to Victor Oladipo, wide open on the 3-point line. Haven't the Spurs learned? That is Oladipo's second 3-pointer on the game. Now they're running a nice pick and roll with Kawhi Leonard and Marco Bellinelli. He makes that dunk, but we still have a 9-point lead. Look at Manu Ginobili trying to make that floater. We're going to run the fast break, pass it over to KJ McDaniels at the hoop, and a crazy dunk right there. This is why I traded for KJ McDaniels last season, for plays just like that. He's perfect at running the fast break, and he can fly in the air for those dunks. So we're going to go into the second half of this game with a 9-point lead. You can see we are just crushing the Spurs on the boards. We almost have double the amount of rebounds that they have. Looking at the individual stats, LeBron James is leading the Jazz with 15 17 points. Karl Anthony Towns is still working to get that Rookie of the Year award. He has 6 rebounds, and I'm liking the way that the Jazz are playing. If we can keep up this high-tempo game, going into the second half, we can easily walk away with the win. So early in the third quarter, Tony Parker has the ball. He's shooting a floater from the free throw line, and that goes in. You can tell that the CPU just does not want us to win this game. Karl Towns misses that hook shot. Tony Parker has the ball. He's going to shoot another floater from the free throw line, and that one goes in as well. So the Jazz are still holding on to that 9-point lead, but I'm nervous because the Spurs are starting to heat up. You can see Danny Green knocking down that 3-pointer, and this is where I decided to make some substitutions. We needed some new guys out there on the court, and here is where Emmanuel Mudiay, coming off the bench for Dante Exum, started to take over this game. There is Tim Duncan missing that mid-range jumper. And look at Kristaps Porzingis leading the fast break, passing it over to Victor Oladipo. Kawhi Leonard bites on that pump fake, and Oladipo will make that mid-range jumper. So here the Spurs are trying to inbound the ball, and LeBron steals it. We are running the fast break, pass it over to Mudiay, and he will get that dunk at the other end. So after a dunk like that, Mudiay wants to come back and make another great defensive play. He gets a second steal, running down court, and another dunk. 2 consecutive plays, 2 steals, and 2 dunks for the Utah Jazz. Things are looking good right now for this team. We have a 15-point lead, and we're going to give the ball back to Mudiay. Patty Mills has been playing terrible defense all this quarter, and Mudiay takes advantage of that mismatch. But you know the Spurs are a championship team. They're not going to be the team that's just going to give up after a couple bad plays. So Patty Mills finds Manu Ginobili on the 3-point line, and he knocks down that 3-pointer. So moving into the fourth quarter, we have a pretty comfortable 12-point lead. Emmanuel Mudiay is on fire. He's making a Euro step right here. So I decided to sub out LeBron James for the remainder of the quarter. If we really need him, we can always sub him back in, but I do not want to risk injury. So let's see how this Jazz team plays. We're going to give it to Giannis, and one dunk at the hoop. That is a sign we are not going to need LeBron for the remainder of this game. If Giannis Antetokounmpo can play like that at the small forward position, we may not need LeBron for a long time. Now with an 18-point lead, the Spurs are still fighting. This game is basically over. Tony Parker is going to try to make a pass. We steal it, pass it up to Dante Exum, and where was the slam at the end of that fast break? We have the ball up by 24 points. Kristaps Porzingis on the right side. That is just sloppy defense there by Thiago Splitter, and that will end your game. Your final score is 102-78, a blowout win right here for the Utah Jazz, and honestly, I am surprised that we won by that many points. I thought we were going to win this game, but I did not expect it to be a blowout like that. Looking at your final game stats, Tony Parker led the way for the Spurs and LeBron James led the way for the Jazz, but let's give credit to Emmanuel Mudiay, who also had a great performance. Anyways, I hope you guys had a fun time watching this video. Be sure to have a great day. God bless you guys.